Hi there, Jack Howarth here and Craig Howarth from Corby Tennis Centre. This is the second in our series of Let's Talk About. Today we are going to talk about strings.
We just want to give you a little bit of an introduction to what sort of strings are available. I'm a professional stringer. We string a lot of people's rackets here, and there's a lot of stuff out there on the market, so we just thought it would be nice to share a little bit of an insight with you on what's going on.
There are loads of different options when it comes to stringing. And that's based on durability and playability. Those are the two main factors you're going to consider. So with my game style, I play a very modern game, lots of racket head speed, lots of spin, and so I would go through strings quite quickly, especially if they are not up to the task. I like to go with the stiffer string in the mains. This is a good example. This is Luxilon, which is used by the vast majority of players on the ATP Tour. And then to counteract just how stiff this string is, I usually go with the softer string in the crosses. It still gives you some feel on the strings, which is what you want. If you play with full polyester, it can feel like a board and it can actually give you some shoulder problems. When I was a lot younger, about 12 or 13, I tried using a racket full of polyester string and it just sent everything up, all the way up my arm into my shoulder, and I did have some issues. As soon as I changed to what's called a hybrid, so having stiff string in the mains, softer in the crosses, I had a lot less trouble with that.
Also, the man-made synthetics now are so much better than they were 10-15 years ago. So you can get a fantastic amount of feel out of those. So the big difference, that's the combination that Jack uses in his hybrid. In mine, I want a very different feel to Jack. I don't want a boardy feel. I want something that's going to be forgiving. So I use a multi-filament. This one from Head, the Velocity, is a really lovely string, and I string a lot of customers with that in their rackets now, because obviously a lot of people will come to us and ask our advice on what we like. Well, the best way, to advise people is, well, this is what I really like for me. I'm very unlikely to get arm trouble, with using one of these multi-filaments. And I like that softer feel, so that's why I tend to go for those.
It's not as much of an issue for Dad that the string isn't quite as durable. So if you're someone that's only playing once or twice a week and you're not at a particularly high level just yet, then it's nothing to worry about going for something that is softer. Going for a big polyester string won't make that much difference to your game, and whilst it is more durable, if you prefer a softer feel, there's no reason not to go for that instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing when you have decided on the kind of string that you want to get is that you may decide to get a reel. Obviously this does look a lot different to the kind of packets that we've got. This will cater for one full racket, so one set of mains, one set of crosses. If you use a hybrid, then you get a set of each and cut them in half and use half in one racket, half in the other. If you decide to get a reel, it will work out much cheaper in the long run. You're buying a lot more string, so it's expensive up front, but it is going to be a lot cheaper in the long run.
You might also need to think about the tension that you're putting into your rackets. That makes a huge difference. The looser you have your strings, in general, the more power you will get from the racket. The tighter the strings, the more control. And a lot of people don't realise that. A lot of people think it's the other way around, but that's definitely the case.
Most rackets are done usually somewhere between sort of 52 and 62, something like that is probably the main range.
Quite often with the hybrids, you'll find that people will usually go for, as Jack said, low 50s with the poly, but then it'll be mid to high 50s with the synthetic gut, because that's a little bit softer, a little bit more stretchy. So when I have mine done and I use the multi-filament, I would string mine up. Actually, I have mine at 59, which again might sound quite high, but that's quite reasonable for a decent player. If you want any more information, and it's not too far away, we do a lot of work with Withers Sport in Leicester, and the guys in the shop there are fantastically knowledgeable and really will help you. And also they do have a practice wall actually in the shop, so you'd have the opportunity to try rackets with probably with different strings and different tensions in, so you can get a feel of what you like yourself before you buy it, which is a good way to go.
Absolutely. So with all of that, thanks for tuning in again. Please leave your comments down below. Any recommendations, suggestions, questions, any of that, we will try and get back to you. Please let us know the sort of content that you're looking for.
Yeah, I hope that's been informative, and we hope that you'll keep sharing the message and pass this on to other people. If you think there's anybody that you know that might be interested, please share it with them, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks, bye-bye.